Hello, my name's Phil Gunyon. I'm 88 years old. On the 3rd of September, 1939, I was on the Athenia with my mother, brother, and sister. The Athenia was an ocean liner, and we were heading from England to Canada. My father was in Brazil, where he'd been sent by his company a few months before. I had been put to bed along with my brother and sister that night on the 3rd of September, and my mother had gone down to dinner. About half an hour after she left, there was an almighty explosion down in the depths of the ship. She shuddered, and she eventually came to rest, listed over to the port, and then came back up almost vertical, but not quite. The lights went out, the ship was stopped, and eventually my mother came up. We got into a lifeboat, and we were all rescued. That story, the rest of that story, I'm not going to go into it, but it's been covered in many little bits. There's been books written about it. There have been lectures given about it. And there have been news clips that you can see on the web. But as far as we were concerned, we were okay. However, having seen all these internet things and so on, I've never been really happy about that, because they're all little bits and pieces here and there. What we need, and what I want to see, is a professionally made documentary that will record this first act of aggression by Germany of Great Britain, 8 hours after the war was declared by Great Britain against Germany. So I'd like to see this documentary made to fill the void. Tom Sanger, a San Diego journalist and author, has an incredible knowledge of the whole Athenia story. He learned it from his grandmother, who was on board the ship that same night as I was, and who survived. Tom has interviewed a lot of other survivors since starting his career as a journalist. He's put together a wonderful website, and he's written a book called Without Warning. Now, he's also assembled a very competent team of professionals who are prepared to make this documentary, but there's only one problem: financing. That's why we're having this crowdfunding campaign. And it can fill this void if we can get this documentary made. This will ensure that another example of the futility and horror of war is displayed, and that people will, in our tightly connected world, more and more people can get this lesson about the futility of war. I myself would like to be able to watch the documentary on Netflix. I'd like to watch it on Amazon Prime. Both these companies have put together documentaries about the war that are excellent. And I would like to see Tom's put on in the same category on these websites. People need to be reminded about just how horrible war is, and this would help to do that in no uncertain terms. So, the opportunity now exists. If you can be generous and give a little bit of money, we'll fill this story that just doesn't exist anywhere at the present time. And by doing that, we're going to record this historic first act of aggression in the Second World War by Germany against Great Britain. So I hope you'll support the crowdfunding campaign and do what you can. And if you do and we make it, that'll be great. So thank you very much.